So today we're going to try and unpack an organization that, well, it's like it has two completely different faces. To the public, it's all about charity, a mission to end world hunger. But if you're an investor, you see a high-tech profit machine with a promise so wild, it sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. So, which one is it? A mission? A machine? Let's dig in and find out.
You've heard this a million times, right? It's the core problem that just drives you crazy. We have enough. The issue isn't really scarcity, it's the system. It's waste, it's logistics, it's just broken. And this is exactly where a company called Barna steps in, and they claim they've got the solution.
Okay, so let's start with the face they showed to the public, the part of the story that's easy to grasp, this mission to feed people. Okay, so at the very center of all this is something called the Miracle Bar. And the messaging is, you have to admit, pretty perfect. You've got simple, wholesome ingredients, a sustainable process, and this really powerful community promise. Half of everything they make gets donated. But hang on, look at that last point, economic innovation. That's a huge clue. They're not just talking about giving away food, they're talking about building a whole new economy, backed by something very real, land. So where does all this happen? Well, they've got these physical hubs they call QILL zones, or, get this, they say you can pronounce it chill zones. The idea is that these are certified community hubs for growing sustainable food, building community, and basically creating these self-sufficient little pockets. It's a really appealing vision, right?
So on the surface, this all looks great, a straightforward, feel-good charity. But that's when you start digging into the paperwork they give to investors. And that's where a totally different story starts to pop up, which makes you wonder, is this really the whole story?
And boom, this is where it gets really weird. That is a direct quote from their own investor pitch deck. I mean, it completely contradicts everything we've just talked about. So, if it's not a food company, and it's not a bar, and it's not a mission, what in the world is it?
Well, it turns out it's also a pretty powerful, profit-hungry investment machine. So let's peel back that second layer and look at the economic engine they call Barnes Kyoyo. Whoa, that is a whole lot of buzzwords. Let's just translate this corporate speak, shall we? AI optimized? That just means they use computers to make farming smarter and more efficient. Tokenized? Think of it like a crypto coin, but instead of just being digital code, your token represents a real piece of something. In this case, productive agricultural land. The bottom line is, this is a system built from the ground up to make money for investors. And it's way, way more complex than just selling a food bar.
So how does this whole machine actually work? They have this concept they call a self-reinforcing flywheel. Let's walk through it. It all starts with us, the consumers, buying into the feel-good story of the Miracle Bar. That demand allows the company to buy more land. More land obviously means more production, which creates a surplus. That surplus is where the profit, the yield, comes from, and it goes straight to the investors. Higher profits attract more investors, and what does their money do? It buys even more land, and the whole thing just spins faster and faster.
And this is the money shot. Literally, this is how the investors are supposed to get paid. It's not just about selling bars. They're tapping into 3 different streams of revenue that build on each other. First up, the land itself is expected to go up in value. Simple enough. Then you've got the steady income from selling all the commodities grown on that land. And finally, the really techie part. Their AI is supposed to find all these little inefficiencies in the system and turn that waste into pure profit for the investors.
Okay, so we've got a charity mission on one hand and a money-making machine on the other. You'd think that's complicated enough, right? Well, buckle up, because there is a third, final layer to this whole thing. And this is where it goes from just being complex to being, well, truly out there. Let's talk about the GENII system.
Just read that for a second. We guarantee you will manifest your dream. And if that's not enough, they promise to double your investment every single year until you do, or you get your money back. Wow. That is, without a doubt, one of the boldest claims I have ever seen.
Okay, hold on. The immediate question is, how? How on earth can anyone guarantee you'll manifest a dream, let alone promise to double your money while you're at it?
Well, according to them, the answer is pretty simple. Their tech is just that good. They're so confident in their secret sauce, their proprietary algorithms, that they're literally putting their money where their mouth is to prove it to the world.
Okay, so this magic system is called GENII, which stands for Generative Intentional Intelligence. The claim is that it uses these super advanced algorithms to chart, and this is their phrase, the path of least resistance. So think of it like the ultimate GPS for your life. You tell it where you want to go, your dream, and GENII supposedly maps out the fastest, easiest way to get there.
And what's powering this whole thing? Something they call quantum intelligence, or QI. And they're really specific. You have to pronounce it chi. You see what they're doing here? They're intentionally blending hard tech with concepts that sound a lot more like life force or universal energy. And the last piece of the puzzle, the actual how, is something called QIPA, Quantum Intelligence Predictive Algorithms. This is their secret engine. They claim it's all about finding universal truths to create harmony on quantum levels. Whatever that means in practice, this is their big technological claim for how they can find that perfect path to any goal.
Okay, let's take a breath. We have a simple food bar, a complex financial flywheel, and a quantum intelligence that promises to manifest your dreams. How do these three things possibly connect?
Right. This is how they try to tie it all together. They say the world's biggest problem is what they call a scarcity operating system, this idea that there's not enough to go around. And their solution is this GENII system, which focuses on universal needs, clean air, healthy food. And how do they provide that food? Through the miracle bar. So the bar isn't just a bar, it's the physical proof of their digital philosophy in action.
So what about that wild manifest your dream guarantee? How is that backed? Well, it's not just faith, it's wired directly into that money-making machine we talked about. Smaller investments are secured with cash, but the bigger ones? They're guaranteed by the Barnes Q Real Estate Trust, that same farmland that's powering the whole investor flywheel. The promise of manifesting your dream is literally collateralized by the very machine that's making investors money. It's all one big interconnected loop.
Okay, but let's get practical. If you're an investor in this, how do you actually get your money out? Well, they've thought of that too. They've laid out a very clear business plan for the end game.
And look, this isn't some far-off 10 years from now idea. They have a very real, very aggressive timeline. They're planning to have a World Peace Ambassador start certifying these QUILL zones in India in late 2025, and then the full investment program with that cash guarantee launches just a few months after that in early 2026.
And they've got three clear ways for investors to cash out. First, they could get bought out by a giant food company, think Nestle or someone like that. Or maybe a financial tech company buys them for their investment platform. And finally, they could just make their digital tokens tradable on the open market so people can buy and sell them. This is structured like a serious investment with a real exit plan.
So that brings us right back to where we started. After peeling back all these layers, the charity, the money machine, the quantum promise, what are we really looking at? Is this some revolutionary new way to create abundance for everyone, cleverly using capitalism for good? Or is it just a really, really clever profit machine dressed up in the language of a feel-good mission? That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?